much different this week. They've got to control. Hi, and welcome to the Week 10 show for the I Formation. I'm Jeff Gibbons.
And I'm John Royce.
And pick man extraordinaire here, he's tearing it up. What do you know, 89-43? That's pretty good. I'm modestly well behind him at 80 and 52, but you know what, still in a reasonable range with the rest of these pundits that were out there. But again, for the second time this year, we've gone away to different places, in our picks, and we are exactly the same for all 14 games. Well, in regards to the winners. So stick around, folks, and we're going to tell you who they are in a minute.
Hey, welcome back to the I Formation. Now we're going to make our picks for Week 10 of the NFL season.
Yeah.
Starting with a Thursday night battle between the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets. Divisional rivals here. What do you think?
Rex the Mouth Ryan returns to MetLife Stadium, man. And I've thought about this all week. This is going to be a good game to watch. Rex shoots his mouth off and fires up the opposition to win. That's life. Rex comes home cocky trying to beat the Jets. That's MetLife.
Oh.
Can't help it, man. And Buffalo's had very little trouble with Miami's anemic defense last week. They got a much tougher job this week with that Jets defense. So I think they're going to control Tyrod Taylor enough to generate enough at home. A good smash-mouth game. I think this is close. I think this is a field goal.
I think it's a field goal as well.
It's going to be a great game to watch. All right. Geez, we really are agreeing on this stuff. Next, we got Jacksonville at Baltimore. And, of course, Jacksonville has had consecutive road games, which is always, a problem for the team, depending on who you talk to. Plus, the Ravens are coming off the bye. And they've had that 2-6 start, though. And they've been in a lot of these games. But defensively, they've had a lot of trouble, too.
Yeah. I just like that the Ravens are coming off the bye. They're all healed up. And not much of a chance to get back into the playoff hunt here, unless they win out, which is not likely. But I think they're a better team than Jacksonville. I think Flacco is ready for a big game here.
They've had trouble generating on both sides of the ball, and I think that part of that is that whole tight end situation. Dennis Pitta went down last September with a hip injury, and he's been plagued with that. And there's talk that Pitta's going to come back. He's actually on the practice team, and he's been trying to get back, but doctors are telling him he should probably retire. I mean, Crockett Gilmore has stepped in there and played the tight end role since.
He's done a reasonably good job too, as well.
Yeah. Owen Daniels went to Denver, so somebody had to walk in.
Oh, I think the big loss for Baltimore this year was Haloti Ngata, who made his way out during the off season, and when you miss your nose tackle, when your nose tackle's gone, one of the best in the game, then it makes it big.
Got your nose tackle. It's awesome. Yeah, you're right.
Just bad.
Yeah, I know, man. It's going to be one of those weeks. Next, we got my beleaguered Miami Dolphins going into Philadelphia to play the new and improved Philadelphia Eagles. And I love this. That offense finally showing up.
Right? Eagles have been looking good, yes.
They're peaking. Yeah. They're poised to make a run in that NFC. And who said that at the beginning of the season? But then again, I better not jinx myself. I call them to win that division. I think they do. Yeah, I think they will too. I'm hoping with a little bit of luck now. This week they're playing that injury-riddled, wounded gazelle that is the Miami Dolphins. And I've been sucking this up all year. It's almost like Leaf fans, man. Wait till next year. That's where I am on this now. But they're also playing consecutive road games. And that's going to show here. And folks, you look at the injuries. Cam Rake for the season, right? He's gone. Bruce McCain out on the corner with that knee brace on. He's probable for this week.
Yeah.
Grimes on the other side. He's He's all tore up around the ribs.
They're beat up.
You know, so the secondary is bad. This one is going to be ugly, folks. This is, and I mean ugly. 14 points plus.
Okay. I'll go with that.
Okay. Next we got Cleveland at Pittsburgh. And I got to tell you, I flip-flop on this one about 3 times before I made my pick this week. And we're both going with?
We're both going with Pittsburgh, but Roethlisberger is out in this one, so Landry takes over. Landry Jones, is it?
Landry Jones it is, sir. And they're all the Browns are being really quiet about Josh McCown. Not Brian Hoyer. Josh McCown. Are you okay, man?
Yeah, well, I'll live.
All right. Well, that's the main thing.
Got a hole in my chin.
Not even going there.
Fuck off.
This is just degenerating very quickly. McCown, up to this point now, and this is, November the 11th, and he has been practicing, but they're actually saying, the Browns organization is saying that if he's healthy, he will play this week. So it's either that or it's going to be the other Johnny Football, Johnny Manziel. And I like the fact that this is in Pittsburgh, so Graham, I'm falling that way for that reason, because I think the fact that McCown is not 100% if he plays, Manziel is Manziel, Landry Jones, they won 2 games when Roethlisberger was out with that knee, so I mean they're capable. But remember too now Le'Veon Bell, right? So
there are some as well. But D'Angelo Williams had a great game last week. And,
he had a career game.
So did
this
Antonio
week.
Brown. Eh?
Yeah, well,
wow,
set a record.
Yeah.
You know, how many receptions? 23.
Is that what it was?
Something sick like that. Yeah, and I mean he just tore it up, man. So
Lord.
Doesn't mean old is all out, always bad. But to couple that with the Browns' defensive woes this year, I still think though that this game is going to be close. But I think the Steelers.
I agree.
I'm going field goal again, but it'll be fun to watch for sure. Always a good game, Pittsburgh and Cleveland anyway.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
All those games within that division are usually great to watch.
Mm-hmm. Next we got Carolina going into Tennessee. The undefeated Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
How cool is that to say in Week 10? And, go Panther fans. In Tennessee, Mike Mularkey gets his first win at the head coach of the Tennessee Titans last week. That's nice.
That's nice. Now they got to face Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
And although Cam Newton doesn't put up the gaudy numbers that some of the other quarterbacks put up, like Brady or Rodgers or anything like that, he's getting the job done against everybody.
This clearly from the man who hasn't had him in his fantasy pool the last 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Right? He had 58 points the week before last, and he outdid Brady.
Right?
Yeah, and he had 37 points this week.
I stand corrected.
He's these last 2 weeks have been pretty good. He's finding the ball.
Okay.
Yeah, so 2-6 Titans last week beat the 4-5 Aints, and they were the Aints because defensively, they're a leaky boat, man. But this is the big matchup. This is Super Mario versus Superman. This is what we got going on. Marcus Mariota had a huge game last week. Huge. And he'll have Mariota's going to have his hands full with that Carolina Panthers defense. At the end of the day here, I'm saying 10 points.
Yeah, I think that's about right, 10 points. It is in Tennessee, and it should be a good battle, but I really see a big game here from Stewart on the ground.
Stewart.
Might be my player of the week.
Stewart the Mouser. Jonathan Stewart. Okay, man, I figured you were right there. Next, we got Chicago going into St. Louis. And the Rams are licking their wounds after last week's that tough loss to the Vikings, and it was a tough loss. And at home now, where they play well, I'm thinking, look at the Rams' defense to cause Jay Cutler problems, and I'm calling this one minimum of 2 interceptions for the St. Louis Rams defense.
Okay.
And I'm saying a touchdown in the difference.
And I'll agree with that. Sounds like about a 20-13 game for me, something like that.
Awesome.
Rams tough at home, good defense. Big game for Aaron Donald there on defense. Look for that.
So remember, 2 interceptions minimum. 2. Going out on a limb this week. It's time for me to start flexing my football muscle.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we got.
He said 2 interceptions.
Yeah. Surprisingly, with the math earlier, I figured you were going to say 2 interceptions, but that's a double, right?
No, this is 1-3.
That's even more confusing for you. Awesome. Did you stir it with the bat?
Yes, I did.
I bet. Next, Dallas going into Tampa Bay. And
Our
this
producer is having a stroke right now, but that's okay.
do you know the early signs of stroke? Yeah, something like that. If you could only have seen his face, folks, he pretty much epitomized it. Next, we got Dallas, like I say, going into Tampa Bay. And I got to tell you, I was worried about this one too. When you look at the big picture, and I'm really sorry, I'm going to apologize to Paul Cicero right away, but the Romo-less Cowgirls are going to traipse into Tampa Bay and another tough game. And they're not getting any easier for the Dallas Cowboys. Certainly, there's the hope that Tony Romo is going to be back next week. This game is huge for the Dallas Cowboys. This is going to epitomize. Their whole season sort of hangs in the balance here. Because, with Philadelphia getting better, they, at 2-6, they've got to make a move now. And certainly with Romo back, there's going to be increased chances.
Because of the division that they're in, they're still not completely out of it yet. And they still have to play divisional games, which helps them as well. So they're not completely out of it. They got Romo back next week. And, of course, Romo, a lot better team with Romo down. And they got to go in against Tampa Bay.
They need to see...
Playing good ball.
Yeah, they need to see the Dallas pass rush make a statement. And I don't mean a statement like Greg Hardy made on Twitter this week. I mean, they need to go and assert themselves as a good pass rushing team.
Yeah.
And give Jameis Winston trouble. And that's the statement they need to make. Yeah. I'm giving Dallas this game because it purely means more to them. I think they go in and they win this one on heart, and they win this one by 6 points.
I'm going to pick Dallas by 3 points.
Sure, 3? Yeah. Okay. All right, now. That's half as much. All right. Next, we got New Orleans going into Washington. And to me, I'm seeing this one as an endurance contest because you really got some interesting stuff going on here. I'm going to call this one the shootout of the week.
Yeah, probably. I mean, Washington is a better team at home for sure. 3-1 this year, is it? At home, I think.
Yeah.
And New Orleans had a rough week last week.
They've given up 10 touchdown passes in the last 2 games.
Yeah, actually, and the week before they won that game, but I mean, was it 7? How many did Manning have?
You mean Breeze?
How many did Manning have?
Manning.
New Orleans, against New Orleans.
Oh, against New Orleans. Yeah. Oh, I'm not sure. I know that
6 or 7, something like that.
Breeze 2 weeks ago threw 7 touchdown passes and tied a league record.
Okay.
So he was, So he was awesome to have on the fantasy roster. Like I said, 58 points, and that changed. He had 60, but the day after they changed the stats, saying that one ball that was dropped as a fumble was actually an interception because the receiver didn't have all of the ball, didn't have contact. But this is going to boil down to, like I said, New Orleans has given up 10 touchdown passes in the last 2 weeks, but Kirk Cousins is not, and I repeat, he is not Drew Brees.
No.
So it's last man standing. It's going to be just like the last 2 weeks. Brees outlasts Cousins. And I'm going to say, here's the call. New Orleans Saints win this game 35-28.
35-28. I like it.
All right. Next we've got Detroit going into Green Bay.
Ooh, the wounded Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, they've lost 2 straight, but you know what Aaron Rodgers would say?
Relax.
Yeah, because now they're back home where Aaron Rodgers plays very well. Mm-hmm. And also they have the benefit of the cheesecloth that is the Detroit Lions defensively.
Yeah.
And he's going to shine. I'm calling this one a 2-touchdown blowout.
Minimum.
Okay.
All right. I agree. Green Bay comes back with a big game here. Rodgers asserts himself and
makes a statement.
Yeah.
The Packers aren't going anywhere yet, and that's going to be a great finish in the North.
They tried to have a great finish last week. Came close in that game against Carolina.
They did. They came back.
Yeah.
So they're not out of this yet. They're still fine-tuning.
Oh, yes.
Next, we got Minnesota going into Oakland. And this is a huge game for both teams. This one is actually very incredible because now Minnesota is trying to keep pace at the top of that North Division, right, at 6-2 this week, along with the Packers. But, and dare I say this, a win puts Oakland in Week 10 in playoff contention. Just let me say that one more time. A win for the Oakland Raiders this week puts them in playoff contention in Week 10.
The surprise team this year, no doubt about it.
Man,
Jack Del Rio's doing one heck of a job with that team this year. He's got to be considered to be the best coach in the game right now for what he's done with so little.
Couple of things of note here too.
I shouldn't say so little though. They're showing some talents, man.
Well, yeah, Latavius Murray. You've got Derek Carr throwing the ball a ton.
Mary Cooper
Right.
is just having a good season.
Yeah, and I mean, and now remember a couple of other games of note. Teddy Bridgewater's cleared the first round of protocol for concussion.
Okay.
May play this week, but
I don't think it matters.
I don't think it matters either. I still think that the Oakland is going to light up the black hole because they're home. They're going to make Raiders fans proud. There are going to be a few of them even taking bags off their heads, I would think, for the first time in a long time. And go Raiders. I think they win this by a touchdown.
I agree.
Awesome. Next, peace and love. Kansas City and Denver. One of the marquee games of the week. Always a great rivalry, right? Denver is refocusing here. I mean, Manning, he's like Data from Star Trek, The Next Generation.
Yeah.
He's refocusing. He's making sure that does not compute, fix this. And that Denver defense is going to be hardline.
Yeah.
They're going to be ready, and that's going to be the difference. Actually, I still think this is close, even with Kansas City having so much at risk here of losing this game, falling out of playoff contention, probably for the last time of the year, right? And they need that win to get back in there, so they're going to be hungry. I think that Denver, the defense, wins this game again. I'm still not sold on Peyton Manning. I've seen shimmers of brilliance, but at the end of the day, this is like the Tebow complex when Tebow walked in and they won 7 straight several years ago when Tebow was a football player, and the defense didn't get enough credit. So we got to call a spade. I give this a field goal.
I'm definitely going with a field goal here. When it came to all of our picks this week, this is the one I'm most worried about with my own Denver Broncos because Kansas City always plays them tough. Kansas City is a better team than his record, and they're going to be all over Peyton Manning, and they're going to try to force him out of the pocket. Now Manning's been doing okay with the rollouts this year, but I agree with Jeff on another thing. Manning is not the same this year. There's no doubt about it. He's throwing a lot of picks, which he's never done that before. He's starting to look a little old there. But I still think that the defense, I'm just going to agree with Jeff again, the defense wins this one. And I think it's a 3-point game.
Kansas City keeps this close because they realize they're in quite a pickle if they lose this game this week. Next, we've got New England going in to play the Giants. And the Giants have played the Pats very well over the last few years. I mean, you think about Super Bowl 46, especially I think about, the pass rush was the big thing that did that for them, though. And that has not been there this year. And I mean, some of the fireworks associated with that, Jason Pierre-Paul, certainly.
A little bit of help from David Tyree.
Oh, yeah. The helmet cam. I mean, yeah, and but at the end of the day, there is a Manning he couldn't beat. And I will always love that. But I don't think they have the pass rush team that has done that before.
And that's the big thing.
And I think they keep this close for a half, and then Brady dissects that secondary. And I think they pull away 10 points plus in the second half.
Well, that's exactly what I was going to say about this, is that as much as the Giants have played this team well, they don't have the same pass rush as they did in those years where they owned New England.
And they own special teams then. I mean, people like Jason Sehorn, Michael Strahan.
That's right.
They, the punt returns, the kick returns, all the special plays and the trick plays. Jim Fossil then had an incredible team.
Yeah.
I mean, Coughlin's done a lot with that team, and then they had that whole shaky Eli Manning season, but he's righted that ship, and you're seeing some of it come through, and then the injuries have plagued them too on the outside. Victor Cruz, people like that. But unfortunately, the Patriots will sail ahead and go 9-0. Next, we've got Arizona going into Seattle to play the Seahawks. It's showtime, baby.
It is showtime, and this is going to be a great game, maybe the game of the week.
Yeah, I actually called it the game of the year. That's what I wrote it down, because it's funny. the big games happen in, it seems like, every year in this division towards the end. Like, there's always divisional games to play, but these are the ones that make it count. And you can get a false read about somebody jumping out in front. And, the Seahawks have come from behind in adversity to win a division or to come into the playoffs. They've done it on several occasions. And now we've got the 6-2 Arizona Cardinals leading the way, but now they've got to show that they deserve to have that top seed.
They're trying to prove we're the kings of the hill now in this division. And Seattle's trying to say, not so fast.
And at 4-4, they're very much in the hunt, along with who's the other 4-4 team in that division? There's another one.
St. Louis.
St. Louis. Yeah. So I think about this. I mean, this is the game of the year. Arizona's offense versus Seattle's defense. But it's the 12-man, baby. That's going to be the difference this week. And I know, Paul Lauder, you're out there watching it, and you know it, and I know it. I'm actually going to call this. Seattle wins this game by virtue of a safety. 2 points.
Wow, that is a gutsy call. I'll pick Seattle by a field goal.
All right. And that's 3 points and not 2 points. just giving you the visual aids there.
A difference of 1.
A difference of 1. All right, man. Finally, we've got the Houston Texans going into Cincinnati to play the undefeated Cincinnati Bengals at 8-0. And they're on 11 days rest, believe it or not, the Cincinnati Bengals, because you think Houston is actually size coming out of the wall. The Cincinnati Bengals actually have 11 days rest, but usually the Houston would benefit from a bye because they're coming off a bye, right? And I just think Andy Dalton's too much for that Texas defense. It's flat. It's one-dimensional. It's not like it was.
No.
They're not the team that threatened to break 8-8 for several seasons.
Well, Cincinnati's offensive line is great too. I mean.
Absolutely.
And they're going to be able to. They're going to be able to slow down J.J. Watt here. No one can stop him altogether, but they'll slow him down.
That's just physics. You can't do anything about that.
And they'll get a few. I see a few big plays here coming from the Bengals. Yeah. AJ Green type, 50-yarders.
I think that this will be a really entertaining game to watch. I think it'll be like NFL film kind of quality. Where you'll be able to sit down, maybe I'll put on my smoking jacket, take out a nice bottle of Italian Red, and savor the flavor, baby. And watch this, because there's going to be NFL film footage.
He doesn't always pick the Cincinnati Bengals to win.
But when he does.
He has Italian Red.
That's right. 9-0 Cincy, baby. 9-0. Which, with our picks this week, leaves 3 teams still on the top of the heap and undefeated. Carolina, New England, and Cincinnati.
I'd like to mention as well that last week we differed on 3 picks, and all 3 of those games were settled by 3 points or less. So when we differ on picks, they're close games.
I don't always lose picks, but yes, I do. Actually, I'm 9 behind you now, but I'd like to look at the cumulative score of the all our games this year. It's crazy.
I'd say it's 27 or less.
Yeah, 27. That's 2, 7. Okay, or 3 to the power of 3. For all of those people out there that would like to keep track of the basic powers. Okay, that's the picks, folks.
Okay, this is getting lame now.
What do you mean it's getting lame? Stick around, folks. We're going to tell you who our players of the week are and our teams of the week.
Welcome back. It's come to my attention this year from certain loyal viewers out there that I've been very nice to Tom Brady in our previous shows. I would like to apologize for that, as none of our viewers need to see the loyalty to Brady. Brady is a cheating piece of crap. The only person who can look at his face without puking is his fat, ugly mother. I hate Tom Brady, and I apologize for anything I've said in support of him in the past few shows. Have fun.
Hey, welcome back. We're going to give you our picks of the week for team and player. John, you want to start this week?
Sure. My team of the week is going to be the Carolina Panthers going into Tennessee. Tough place to travel, and Tennessee might have to keep this one close for a little while. I just think the Carolinas defense is much better. And my player of the week will be Jonathan Stewart, who I expect to have a big game on the ground. Tennessee is a really good pass defense. They're a good pass rush, I should say. And that's going to keep Carolina running the ball a lot. And I think Jonathan Stewart's going to go over 100, couple of touchdowns.
Good call. This week, I find myself picking the Oakland Raiders. Cue the weird music. I'm picking the Oakland Raiders. I don't think I've ever said that before.
I don't think I have either.
Well, you certainly didn't say something I was saying. And I'm also picking Derek Carr, who's been a diamond in the rough. Wow, just throwing the ball like with the poise of a veteran professional.
Yeah, precision of Marino.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that's it. That's right. Product shot there. 13. It's hard to see until I pull it down and pull it around the edges. Okay, so we got Derek Carr and Oakland, who's gonna we were both calling to beat Minnesota this week at home. So that's our picks for the week, folks. And we really thank you for staying the course with us. We've had a few spots in the runway this week or this year. Missed a couple of shows. Had some things going on. We're back online now. Hopefully now it'll be back to normal. So we'll be posting this, and once you see it, it'll be up. Today is what? Today is Wednesday.
November the 11th.
Yeah, November the 11th, actually, lest we forget. A moment to think about everybody who's allowed this show to be and protected us. Also, I want to say thank you to everyone who's given contributions. Loving the banter that's showing up on our webpage, on our Facebook page. You get people going on about their picks and our picks and everybody else's picks.
Put your picks up there on the page. We'd love to see that stuff.
It's awesome to see. And we were getting the same fellas now lately that are really taking part in that. Yeah. Remember, you can also like our Facebook page. We really look forward to seeing you on there. Give us a like. You can follow us on Twitter at the iFormation. And of course, you can send us an email at theiformation@gmail.com. So, get your feedback out to us. So, that's the show for this week. Anything else you want to add?
Buy a veteran a beer.
Buy a veteran a beer. And also remember, folks, enjoy the games, but respect the game. Don't drink and drive. So until next week, it's good night for me.
And it's good night from him. Have fun. We're going to make our picks for week number 9 of the NFL season.
And like we said, man, this week, we're going to lose. I'm going to lose no ground or gain no ground.
Isn't it week 10?
What did you fucking say? Week 6?
9.
Is this week 10?